What's up, everybody? Sir Spookfest here. So kids are swimming, my sister's swimming. We're in the Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts. If you've never heard of it, check it out. So I have missed the woods of the Bridgewater Triangle. It's the maybe 1 o'clock on a Friday. I'm gonna try and hike down to one of my favorite spots where I've had activity happen before and try a few things. I forgot Phil did this. No walk. No. Ugh. Or Frank. I forgot his name. But I'm also going to be looking for big rocks like that and see if there's any symbols on them. After going to Dighton Rock, I am wondering if I can find any more foundations. But we're just going to go out here. Hopefully actually capture some more weird activity. If you haven't seen it, it's called Ghost Voice Bridgewater Triangle. I know a lot of people have seen it that watch my channel a lot, but I also covered myself in bug spray because I don't want to get bit by ticks or anything. But middle of the day, let's try a different, I've always said any time of day, it doesn't matter. Oh, this looks really hard to get through. I'm walking around. Sorry, Frank, don't yell at me. But I also did notice something new. The other side of these woods, they put in like a casino slot thing. And last night they were playing loud music and stuff, but I don't know if they do that all weekend or what, but I am gonna try and come out here at night again. I will be right back once we get closer. Okay, so we are getting closer to the spot. I also wanted to say I'm not doing a live chat because I don't know about my signal. Barely was getting one at my sister's house, so figured I'd just film this. Lots of mosquitoes, of course. And the legends around here are to do with King Philip's War, Bridgewater Triangle area, so there's also the legends of Bigfoot, giant snakes, giant dogs. The pugwudgies is one of my favorite. Now, I've witnessed spook lights out in these woods. Not during the day, but I don't know. If they emit their own light, maybe we could see a spook light during the day, right? Hey, alright. Hawk feather. Okay, so back into the very creepy woods where I believe there has been settlements. I actually looked up where my sister's house is and stuff, and there are Native American settlements that were around here. And I've had a lot of weird stuff out here. I actually caught one on my live, long live paranormal right over here. Looked like somebody standing in the woods in like old garb, like a white shirt and overall type thing. This has grown over a lot. Hello, I'm Ryan, and that's a giant spider. Hazards immediately. Alright, so if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've been here. This is like the portal tree that I always walk through. Now you're really in for it. And see, like stuff like this is showing possibility of old foundation. Even the rock walls around here, they're all over the place. I do plan on going to some other locations maybe later tonight. The Witch's Tree, and that's on the edge of Bridgewater Triangle, but the whole family's buried under the tree, and the tree's bent over, and it's said to be the hanging tree, and it's bent over pointing towards, you know, hell and all that. I think it's the Fuller family and the Park family or something. I can't remember. But the wars around here, there's deer poop. The war around here, King Philip was actually like King Anawan and Metacomet. I always mix them up, which one was the king and which one, but we called him King Philip. And this whole area is just scattered with cool stuff, so I always like to come out here. I've gotten the ghost voice before, had very weird things happen while doing night investigations. Nothing like direct, but enough where I thought I saw somebody, so I left. A lot of people, if you do see that video, will probably say pareidolia because it's tree branches and all that, but now, if I remember correctly, I got that voice. Hello, I'm Ryan. I just back to say hello once again. Do you remember me? It is one of my favorite spots, just because Bridgewater Triangle and the woods and the legends and lore of this. And yeah, I'm not going to be out here too long. I'm going to go find a spot, set up a few items. I've done it on that rock over there before, and I'm not far from where I got that voice. It's an old video now. I think it's 6 or 7 years old. Ow. Alright. Let's see if we can find anything interesting to set up at. Probably some rock walls. And while I'm doing this, actually, since I'm doing daytime woods walk, I'll be looking for shed antlers, skeletons of any kind, deer poop, signs of animal tracks. Right now I'm following an animal trail. This was probably the area that I got that voice. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is. I think I remember this tree with the hole in it. Yeah, we'll set up on this rock just for a few more deer poop and an orange mushroom. Never eat a mushroom unless you like have an actual guidebook and know exactly what kind of mushroom it is. Yeah, I think I'll set this up on this rock. I just got a few items. Ooh, blueberries. So that's another thing. Tons of wild blueberries. That's what the camera's actually sat in right now. I'll eat some blueberries. Nice. Okay. I'll set this stuff up and just do a few minutes. Hello, I'm Ryan. Just wondering if you remember me. You told me to go away once. I brought some items for you to play with. That just lines up as music. It will play if you want to turn the handle on that. There's a bell here. You can ring the bell just to let me know you're here, or even just make a noise in that device pointing at me or right next to me. Because I did hear you in person when you told me to go away. I just thought it was a dog bark in the distance. Woodpecker. I also got to be careful because there is a pack of coyotes out here, but they won't bother me if I don't bother their den or anything. Alright, I'm just going to leave that there. So, I will try Spirit Box. Let me make sure that you are You can kind of hear a train in the distance. Now, that trail I was walking at the beginning of this video, a lot of people don't realize is the old abandoned railroad track that goes all the way from like Maine, Boston, all the way down through the different towns of Massachusetts. And that abandoned railroad track I have caught spook lights on, or the old railroad worker who passed away, I caught his lantern while we were walking back. That was one of my first investigations. But I do believe you can come out at any time and maybe have some experience. I did bring one more surprise. I wanted to try a trigger item and something different. So I grabbed, a friend gave me some firecrackers. So we're going to try some firecrackers. Oh boy. Cover your ears. Okay. Did you hear that? I figure since there was battles out here, maybe gunshot like fire or whatever, even just loud noises like that. There's a little red light there, if you could touch that. Now I definitely just scared away all the animals. It's dead silent. Yeah, I got a bunch of blueberries. We're just standing in a blueberry patch. Can you hear me? Or can you see these devices in front of me? There's one with a little red light. You can walk up to it, touch it, it will just beep and show colors. Were you involved in the war, in King Philip's War? Did you used to live around here? Were you a settler here? Alright, well, I'm probably going to try this in a second. Can you see me here? How about this thing? That's all that does. There's a bell. There's also this little music box. Instead of just telling me to go away, I just want to know your name maybe. Or you could tell me to go away again. Maybe tell me a year or a date. I'm going to try this and I'll call out what I hear.
Xbox. Scanning. SM.
I kind of took the antenna off of this.
Scanning. AM.
This thing I'm holding, you should be able to communicate to me through this if you'd like to. Rock, but that was like a radio station. If you want, you could show me a sign you're here, make a noise, show yourself. Were you part of King Philip's or Metacomet's tribe? Or the Wampanoags? status. That sounds like a radio station though. I do have it scanning pretty fast. Let's see what we can hear with it slow. Can you hear this? Alright, so there's a station with a lady talking on it. It just said February or something. Super fast. Whoa. I think that's definitely the radio station talking. You don't want to talk through this? Alright. Not really getting anything with that, so I'm just going to hang out for a little bit. How long have I been filming? Okay. Yeah, this is going to be short and sweet. I got stuff to do, and then later tonight I'll probably do a live witch's tree, I'm hoping, depending on if he wants to come with me or not. That's my sister-in-law. But I'm going to give this like another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll take another walk around and go see if we can see any weird rocks or any like foundations or rock walls. I do hear an animal that way. If you have talked to me already, thank you, because maybe I just didn't hear it, and I'll be reviewing this. Everything is captured on there, so if you want to say something, I'm just here to communicate and see if you are here. I thought it was very amazing that I actually heard you, and then when I reviewed the video like an hour after I filmed it, realizing it was actually a person. Some people have said pareidolia, but I can clearly hear words. I've had that happen before where I've heard something and then find out it's, or not hear something, and then it shows up in a video. So I was thinking about doing some UFO watch too, because Bridgewater Triangle is pretty famous for UFOs. Is there any giant black dogs want to come at me? Giant black snakes? Now, Thunderbird, I have had experience with when I was a little kid. I was probably like 10, maybe 11. And a shadow went across my grandmother's front yard, and it was huge. And I looked up, and there was a 15, 20-foot bird. I started crying. My grandmother was like, I know she saw like the shadow, but she was probably like, you saw an albatross or something like that. And it wasn't. It wasn't a white bird. It was brown. It had like some specks of white. Maybe it was a giant eagle. I don't think so. There's hawks and stuff, but I never seen a bird that big, and I freaked out. And growing up here, I know what most like turkeys and the hawks, all these type of different birds around here, and when I saw that, I freaked out. I think I'm just gonna pack this up if you're not gonna do anything. This thing just lights up, and there's a bell and a little music box. It's just a little turn handle music box. There's an airplane going by. But this stuff, This is exactly why I do this. You never know what you're gonna get. The woods are always exciting, especially with the history of the haunted woods around here. Hockomock Swamp actually means it's a place where spirits dwell. I just love my hometown, and it's been a while. Hopefully I do get some activity. I think we'll take a loop around, and that way it looks pretty thorny. So does that. Maybe we'll go down this way. It looks like in the distance there might be some rock walls or something. And that's definitely an animal trail under this tree. Okay. Well, I'm going to put this stuff away. I kind of figure if you were going to do something to let me know you were here again, you would have at least beeped something or said something. I still don't know. Maybe I just didn't hear you. But I'm going to be walking around. Maybe I'll set this stuff up again. Something right over here. If you did communicate, thank you very much. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, all the respect. I appreciate your guys' culture and everything in this area and the history of it. And what you guys accomplished, really, from the settlers and the Native Americans. It's a sad thing that war happened, but it's 2026. I don't know what year it might be for you if you are out here. But if you'd like to speak to me while I'm adventuring, I'd really appreciate it. Let's see if we can find anything. I'm probably going to be covered in spiders. It looks like there's a trail over this way. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to stay out too much longer. I do want to go hang out with my family, swimming. I've been doing a bunch of fun stuff. Dighton Rock was amazing to be able to go see. But this is still one of my favorite things, just exploring random woods. That was almost bad. Here's a little clearing. There's something there. There's another animal trail back there. That is part of rock wall. You could actually see some of the rock wall in here. Let's go this way. Actual path of probably deer. Yeah, here's some more stuff. Huh. Old fire pit. Maybe a little camping area. Somebody was probably camping out here. Looks like a cool spot. There's all these rocks. A lot of these were just placed here from glacier melt and stuff, but this was obviously a fire pit or something. Yeah, and then there's a trail that keeps going that way. Huh. It's pretty dang old, but more recent than, you know, a couple hundred years ago in the 1700s, early 16 or late 1600s. There's a widowmaker. I've probably crossed a few of them, but this actually goes for like maybe another 3/4 of a mile, and then there's a road over there. Not much over there. There's an industrial park, and the old mall was over that way in Taunton. Silver City Mall. It's all shut down, and they took the whole thing down. No more mall. I did get to see the mall as it was being demolished. But I think I'm just going to slowly work my way back, because I have a lot of thick woods to get through and probably over a half mile to get back to where I started. So I'll just keep filming. Hopefully something showed up on here. All blueberries. That's a lot of blueberries. I'd be out here picking some wild blueberries for blueberry pancakes, blueberry muffins. So I'm gonna start heading out. If you'd like to say anything to me, even with an airplane, who knows? When I'm out here, I don't know exactly what might occur. I've come across deer. I've walked up to raccoons and skunks. You don't want to walk up on a skunk. That is all just blueberries, the low-lying bush. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, I'm heading back towards where I came in. Hopefully you will say something.